Hello, this is Dan Allford with ARC Specialties. We're at the Automate show in Chicago with my guest, Gene Rabatin.
I'm Gene Rabatin. I'm with Yaskawa Motoman.
So we're going to give you guys a update on the show because I like to go to these shows, and I had an opportunity to go this one thanks to Gene.
Yep. So we decided this year that we were going to include partners in our booth, and Dan was an obvious choice because he likes doing these crazy science projects with his applications, and I thought he'd be a great fit for what we have in the Yaskawa booth this year. So what is your take? What have you seen?
Well, I like to go to these shows for networking and technology. I live in fear of becoming a dinosaur because if you let technology to eclipse you, then you're out of work. And so it's been fascinating. I know this year, I think the Chinese say it's the year of the dragon.
Okay.
I think it might be the year of AI, cobots, and vision.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
All right.
A whole lot of it. And
definitely a lot of AI I see.
Yeah, that's the catchword, and there's more cobots than you can imagine. So I've had a great time walking through here. But one thing that I've found interesting was the fact that we've got some really advanced technology, some really bright people selling some clever sensors and stuff. But it's the last mile, and that's our relationship. It's the integrator.
Yep, 100%. I always kind of joke around when I talk to you about the integrator. You know my history. I've been with a end effector company, I've been to a robot company, and then I say I get to the dark side of integration for a few years. And that's you. And I am so much more appreciative of people like you because integration's hard. I mean, it's the hardest job I ever had is selling it, and I just know what it took for my integrator company, what they had to do to make a project work. I mean, there's a lot of components moving. It's not just a robot, right?
No, it's tough.
The robot's the easy part.
And if we weren't necessary, all these people wouldn't be here selling 100%. These sensors and all this other stuff. So that's what we do. If anybody in the audience doesn't know what an integrator is, we take
conveyors,
Motoman robot and add a welding system and tooling and software and sensors and all this stuff to make it work. I always say in robotics, you get an A+ or you get an F.
Okay, there's nothing in between.
No, there is nothing in between. And so, and failure's not an option. We have to make this stuff run. And so it's fun. Some of us like this. You call it the dark side.
You love the challenge, I know, and I'm glad there's people like you out there.
And,
I wouldn't sell robots.
Right. Well, and it takes a whole lab. That's why back in Houston we have a whole lab because we don't know everything. And so somebody will bring a crazy project to us. We either say yes, technology exists. No, not yet. Maybe next year, or we don't know, and then we go to the lab and we play.
Yeah. You and I have talked before a little bit about the integrators in the arena, in our industry, and we have a lot of integrators that are part of the A3. But there's also a special page on the A3 website for certified integrators. And I know you're a certified integrator. So tell me what
and it's your fault.
I'm going to take full blame. Go ahead, tell them why it's my fault.
Okay, so once upon a time, years ago, you told me that I really needed to join A3. Well, it was RIA back then.
RIA, yep.
Robotics Industrial Association. Yep. And the part of your pitch was that they had a certified robot integrator program.
Yep.
And that made sense to me. We joined. All my guys were nervous about taking the test because you have to be able to do a safety audit and you have to be able to program. And there's an actual test. You guys send out an auditor.
Okay.
And they pass with flying colors. It's no big deal. But I'm a huge fan of this program.
I've talked to several integrators over the years who went through it, and every single one of them say, we were nervous, we were studying, we didn't know what to expect, and we didn't know if we'd pass. Every single one of them says, oh, yeah, we were already doing what they require us to do on this. It's kind of our daily practice. So it's like this daunting thing. I think people think like, oh, we'd have to be audited and tested, and it's going to be scary. But they all seem to pass it and it's fine. But the sad part about it is, you've counted it. How many certified integrators are on our
38 in America, 1 in Texas by my last count.
And you're the only guy in Texas.
That's it. And that's unfortunate. And
how many integrators do you think we have in this industry?
You have a better guess than me. I would say
500, 600, you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would guess.
I would guess that too. So out of 500 system integrators, we have 38 that are certified A3 integrators.
And I can either say that gives me a huge leg up, or I can encourage my competitors to go get certified.
So I'm on the other side now. I'm on the robot side of things. I'm working in partners, right? You're a partner. And when we are having end users talk to us and they want our help to try to pick the right partner, I would hope that our partners have this certification, right? I don't want Joe's Garage Shop putting together, unless Joe's Garage Shop is certified.
Right,
But
and
I
it
want
could
there
be.
to
And
be,
the
you know,
small
good
guys
integrators.
can do it.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to be a big guy to do
Correct.
this stuff.
Yep.
But the last thing we need in our industry is a bad robot job.
Yeah.
You know, if I walk into a shop and they've got a robot back in the back that's collecting dust,
Yeah.
the first thing I have to do is convince them that robots aren't bad.
Yeah.
It's
Their
just that integration is hard.
Yeah. Yep.
Some of us thrive on it, though.
Yep.
You know, our motto is we thrive on problems, send us yours, and we mean it.
Yeah. I know. I know you do. You do the crazy stuff.
So what else have you seen at this show?
You know what? You are the guy who's into the technology thing. I'm in the networking. And you just gave me a challenge while we're walking over to this booth.
I asked you, how far can you walk without waving to somebody?
He said, how far can you walk without waving or getting a hug from somebody? And I says, I don't know, like 20 foot. And then 6 feet later, somebody stopped and said, hey, Gene, and gave me a hug. So I'm here for the networking and seeing all my friends in the industry. You're here for the technology. So what's some cool stuff that you've seen?
Like I said, I think it's the year of vision, and nobody really knows which way vision's going to go. It can either be stereo, time of flight, or structured light.
Okay.
And we're playing with all of them. But
Nice.
but what is the sense that you use more often than any other of your other five senses?
Yeah, I guess
Is
my vision, yeah.
And so I think that's going to make a huge effect on robots. And so that, I'm paying particular attention to the vision booths, so whether it's 2D or 3D vision.
Okay.
And we've had some success with that because now the robot can determine the orientation and the presentation of a part, because you have to register the part. And we're starting to have robots leave the factory and go to the problem.
Okay.
And if that's the case, the robot has to register the problem. That could be a human femur
Yeah.
or a ship
Or I say, or an oil rig.
or an oil rig. And so we have to somehow or another give the robot the ability to quickly determine the exact position of the part. Before it can perform any operation on the part, it has to know
Yeah.
its orientation. So that's a big one for us. The whole AI thing is pretty impressive. I've seen a couple of places that are really doing a good job with it. It's still in its infancy.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be big. And then processor power. As processor power goes up, we can do better things more quickly.
The show's been good for you so far. You've been in the Yaskawa booth this week with your demo.
Oh, and there's quite a crowd here. You can see it. We've had
You've had a lot of
good stuff. So this used to be a semi-annual event,
Yep. Now it's annual.
annual event. Where are we holding it next year?
Next year's gonna be Detroit.
In Detroit.
Yep. I think they're gonna go back and forth between the two. Chicago, Detroit.
Well, very good. It's been a good show for me, and I deeply appreciate you guys allowing us space in
I'm
the booth.
excited to have partners in our booth. I think it's a great move that we're doing to have the actual people who do the integration show us what they do best.
So anybody that's out there listening today, if you didn't make it to Automate this year, hopefully you'll make it next year.
Yeah, I agree.
So hope to see you, Detroit,
Detroit in 2025.
2025. We'll see you at Automate.
Yep. Thanks.